You are listening to episode 10 of the Bastards of Kingsgrave. This is Amin,
This is Ashley.
and that's it for today. We're only the two hosts that have shown up so far for BOK. But one of these days we'll get Mimi and Kyle on here. Yeah. And so today we're going to talk about Black Lagoon, an anime and manga series that I think you got me into it actually. I think I asked you for good anime back in the day, and I think you recommended it.
Was it? I know. Were we talking about Hellsing? Did you watch that first?
No, this was even before we talked about Hellsing. Like this is like how.
Oh, I know what it is. I just posted randomly, being like, I freaking love this series.
Yeah, I think I read your forum topic in the anime, that anime, the giant anime thread that we have going. I think I read it there, and then I asked you about it, and you said it's really good, and I went off and watched. There's 2 seasons, and now there's an OVA. I watched the 2 seasons, and then I went back and got the manga because I.
Oh, you've read it too?
Yeah, I've read the manga.
Okay, so now you're more of an expert than I am.
Funny, but the thing that was a couple months ago, so I've forgotten the details, but I remember that I liked it.
Okay.
So let's talk about we're talking about anime, and we're talking first season. So I guess we'll talk about what happens. I'm just gonna have the wiki open as well in case we need reminders. But basically, Black Lagoon is about this Japanese businessman named Rock, who he's kind of like in the stereotypical Japanese businessman, right? He go up corporate ladder.
Just to add in, his name isn't really Rock. He changed it to Rock.
Oh, it's true. Wait, what is it? Yeah, his name is Rokuru.
You only know it in the first episode.
Yeah, you're right. He doesn't start
on as Rock.
That's important. His name change is important because it shows that he's changed, from what he was to what he's going toward. Yeah. So he's a Japanese businessman. He's on the ship that's escorting some information or files, and they get hit by pirates near Southeast Asia. And he gets taken. It looks like they're just going to take the disc and let everyone go. But Reverie, the main female protagonist of the series, I don't know. Even then, for some why did she take him? She claims that it's just for a hostage thing or something. But somehow he catches her eye and he gets dragged into their world, basically into their pirate world, and he ends up with a bunch of pirates and starts to change. That's probably the quick summary of it. Although this is weird that we're describing it in such detail. I mean, I guess I was hoping to intend this podcast for somebody who's already seen it. That's why it feels weird that I'm because we never do that in either these podcasts or the main podcast to describe it. Everyone's actually read it, so that's why it feels weird describing it.
Well, it's going to be kind of hard to talk about this without spoilers. I mean,
so we're going to say spoiler alert. We're just going to jump into spoilers. So,
but honestly, it's not a series that has some big giant reveal to it that you It doesn't matter for this. There are series that you don't want to spoil, and this one doesn't matter really.
This series is built on the characters and characters' interaction. So you're exactly. You're not oh my god. It's not one of the ones where oh my god, it was a man or a woman or not alive or they were dead or they're in a hospital and they're.
It was planned all along.
Yeah. It's just based on good characters, interesting interaction, and you want to see it more than once. That's why I went to see the manga. I wanted to see I want to see more of these interactions, see the backgrounds. And the other really nice thing about this series is it's the dub is one of the higher quality ones, right? This is one of the better dubs by Funimation, right?
It wasn't done by Funimation, actually.
Oh, did I make that mistake again? I think I'm idolizing Funimation.
Well, actually, I when I was looking it up again today, I found out some interesting news. Originally, the series was put out by I forget who, but it was done in kind of the old-fashioned style where it's really expensive to buy, and that's why I've never bought it before because it's just ridiculously expensive.
Yeah.
But recently, I guess Funimation has bought it. And now they're re-releasing the 2 seasons together for $46. Both seasons together. When originally one season was $100, and that's for just 12 episodes. So now you're getting 24 for $50, basically.
Perfect gift for somebody who's getting into anime. I think
that's over 8.
Is it out in time for Christmas or?
Yep, it's 2 weeks from now. Actually, it's very soon.
Wait, you said you have to be over 18 for this? I guess, yeah.
Well, language.
Well, you know what I like about the series? One of the many things. There's no intentional fan service.
No, it's chicks
Yeah.
with guns. I mean,
Yeah.
I think they emphasize the badass chick
There-
angle a little bit.
yeah. So there's things that
Just a
like in
little.
other series would be fan
Yeah,
service and
no,
like
it's not like panty shots or
yeah.
High School of the Dead type thing at
Yeah.
all.
Um,
It's just a lot of badass chicks.
I think they're keeping the same like the Funimation is not redubbing it or anything, right? It's still the same.
No.
It's like because they got really good, especially Revie's English voice actress. And when you see her, I should have sent you. There's like on YouTube, there's the interviews with them, and it's like because she's such a potty mouth, right? And then you see like the dubbed woman, and you're like, oh, wow, she doesn't seem like she's the type of person who would say that, but she's a good voice actress and can do it.
Yeah. Oh, but have you watched Death Note?
No, I haven't watched Death Note.
Okay. See, The Rock, his voice is the same as the lead character in Death Note, and it drives me nuts because because it's the same voice. Like he doesn't like change it up at all. It's exactly the same voice as Lights in Death Note, and
You have to change it. You can't have that same.
yeah.
He's not very. He's getting big roles, but he's not changing it up.
Yeah. So just if you're a big Death Note fan and
Yeah.
you start watching it, you'll just be like, this is odd. I'm hearing light.
I'm going to read the character descriptions off Wikipedia. Rock is the main, and Revi is the one who called him Rock. That she dubs him Rock, and she's the one who's causing this transformation in him. Like he admits that later on. But he's the main protagonist. He's a Japanese salaryman who joins the crew of the Black Lagoon. Is the ship called the Black Lagoon?
I think so.
Oh yeah. And the city is called like Ruanapur or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
like
that's the city.
City of Sin. Mixed like Las Vegas, but in an Asian setting with like prostitutes and drug dealers and Russian mafia. And that's Ruanapur.
Or if you watch Pirates of the Caribbean, it's that port that he's always going to.
Yeah. Rock does not fight, but is an excellent negotiator and translator, and apparently does the accounting for the Black Lagoon Company. He's often scared by the methods Revi sometimes uses to achieve her goals. Revi is the female protagonist of the series. She provides the muscle for the Lagoon Company. She is of Chinese descent and grew up in New York City. She is exceptionally skilled with using firearms in battle, but is not much of a people person.
Basically, if you're a fan of Firefly,
Yeah.
Revi is Jane.
Yeah, like a female version of Jane. Yeah.
Yep.
She likes her guns. Like she's
Yes.
has a gun collection.
You can see her having a love affair, like wiping them gently and being like, "That's right, baby, that's right."
Yeah. She enjoys killing and seldom stops to negotiate. Yep. And then she has a cutlass. She has like sword guns.
Yeah.
She can fight like a sword. She can shoot with them. And her nickname is Two Hands or Two Hand. Two Hands. Yeah, reflects her ability to use both pistols at the same time. Then another big character is Dutch, who's the leader of the company. And there's not many African American characters in Japanese animation usually, which kind
No, and they're pretty much all following the Dutch stereotype.
but I feel like his voice actor is perfect, like right on, like in the dub.
Yeah,
like
the
it
dub
just
it is definitely.
fits him so well, and just his language that he uses is appropriate, not stereotypical like black language, but just American. Like he was an American.
Yeah, it sounds very American.
He was in the Vietnam War apparently, although the timeline's a little bit off, but he's a war veteran anyways. And then there's Benny, who's like their sort of like their IT guy.
He's their Walsh.
Yeah, he is. He actually directly matches to.
He wears the Hawaiian shirts too.
Yeah,
and has the blonde hair.
Yeah, and he has an ethnic girlfriend. So.
Really is. When I was watching that show, I'm just like, wow.
Yeah. And he's like Rock. He doesn't actually fight. Like Dutch and Revi are the ones shooting everybody. He's more handling that IT stuff and driving and that kind of stuff. Okay, so I want to look at the episode list to see if remind myself what we want to talk about. Oh, we have questions here. So you haven't read the manga then? It's just me.
No.
Yeah, it's worth reading. Like it's good. It's
Does it cover any more material than what's in the anime, or
yeah, it gets
storyline?
Basically like it goes further to what the OVA does, and I think that's about it. I think I made it to the end, so it doesn't really go that much further because the OVA doesn't even go that much further either. I think there was a halt on the. Well, let's see. I think the guy stopped producing for a while, and then he's coming back.
Oh, okay.
He might have been sick or something. Let's see. What? Only 2002? No, 2009. Yeah, I think he's coming back to it. Hopefully, it's not done. He's definitely got to read it.
Oh, if you get back into it, it'll definitely be welcomed. I mean, it's an awesome series. I haven't heard anyone dislike it.
Yeah, the ratings are incredibly high in the anime sites. Okay, okay. What else do we have in this file? Okay, I wanted to talk about the episode where Rock and Revi, they do stuff early together, even with like the Nazi arc or whatever when they go to
Yeah.
the Marines. But I think like their first good episode together is when they're sent around town to do some like negotiation. They go to talk with like the nuns. Do you remember that episode?
Yep.
Let me open up. Oh, by the way, yeah, in this episode, like the nuns are, in this series, there's nuns, but they're like also part of like there's different gangs, and the nuns are a gang basically.
Basically, what I heard is described as is they're basically taking all the chicks with guns stereotypes. So
Yeah.
we got a maid with guns, we've got a nun
Ah.
with guns, we've got your stereotypical Asian with guns or with knives actually.
Yeah, too, yeah.
We've got the badass American with guns. We've got the Russian mafia woman just taking out everyone.
That girl with the knives, like in the English dub, they have her like speaking like broken
Yeah, the main character calls her Chinglish.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
like the dubbing choices like were just the script was perfect. It's just
Well, from what I've heard, is like it's better to watch it in the dub because it is such a the storyline is very international and there are American characters, so there is like in the Japanese version they do use broken English a lot or just plain out English,
Yep.
and apparently that translates better when you're just watching it in English.
Yeah, I think it's worth watching the dub and then you can rewatch because you probably will want to rewatch. You can try to rewatch the sub, and that may be like that's to some people that's blasphemy or yeah, whatever.
I think this is one of the ones that is universally approved dub for.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna open up that episode. Let's see. Where's the list of episodes? Anime. Which and in the manga, it completely matches what happened in the manga, which is cool. Like the anime is very faithful to the manga. That's why in general I like that. When I watch an anime and I feel like I want more, I go to the manga, and usually it's pretty close, way closer than like Game of Thrones and the books.
Yeah.
because of anime you have the freedom to there's a huge battle, okay, we'll draw it.
Yeah.
Even if that costs money, it's easier than actually shooting it.
Yeah, it's a little more
Yeah.
ink.
Okay, where's that episode? Yeah, Dutch dispatches Rock and Revi to go on errands throughout Ranapur. And I think Dutch is he's a good like human resources.
Yeah.
He's doing his human resources. He's trying to get because he knows there's a problem with them. Like they've since the start, Revi's never quite respected him and beats him around and shit. Well, not literally, I think, but
Sometimes.
kinda. And Revi is displeased that she's being forced to perform with him, like do these errands. They stop at the Church of Violence. Is that what it's called?
The rip-off church.
Yeah, posing as religious missionaries in order to traffic drugs and illegal weaponry. Rock manages to use his business savvy to repair an agreement with Yolanda, the head of the church, after Revi draws a gun on her. And Yolanda is impressed by Rock's skill and asks Revi to emulate him, which pisses off Revi. Then they go to a restaurant and Rock is angry. No, Rock is trying to like talk with her. Revi's mad, and this is where when I was watching this the first time, I thought Rock would back down. Because up to this point, he's like a businessman. He's not in this world. You think he would back down, but you see there's something in him that he actually kind of gets reckless here and stands up to Revi, which is incredibly dangerous thing to do.
Yeah, well, he outright tells her to shoot him. And the thing is, Revi's the person who would shoot him.
Yeah.
That was the part that surprised me. Like, she shot.
Yeah.
She actually pulled the trigger.
She shoots, but he just deflects, like he moves her hand, right? Like he still gets he's just bleeding. But she would have shot him and not felt bad about it. She would have been like, oh well, Dutch, like
It happens.
They don't really need him technically. Like that's the other thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it's almost like Dutch in particular has just allowed him to be there. Maybe he sees potential in him or something. But that's the other thing. These characters are gray.
Yeah.
They're not. They're obviously not white characters, but they're not black either. They're not.
Yeah.
They're not that. Like they.
Like, they're smugglers, but, like, when you watch Firefly, they're obviously good. These ones are not obviously good.
Yeah.
These ones have no problems smuggling kidnapped children and whatnot.
But Dutch, like Benny, if you put Benny, is right, is like your watch. Like he probably feels bad about it, or he looks the other way. He wouldn't do anything. And Dutch is willing to kill people, but he doesn't have wanton brutality. Like he doesn't kill people for no reason. Like there's one episode where Dutch and Revi are like they're in that they go on the ship, and then like Revi wants to shoot the freaking civilians, and Dutch is like, "What the hell are you doing?" So Revi is willing to shoot the civilians, but even she has her own background. She has her tortured past, right?
Yeah. But like even with Dutch, it's like a job is a job. Like
Yeah.
even if it is morally wrong, it's a job.
He'll do it, but he won't. Like he'll do it because it's the job, but he doesn't do it for fun. He doesn't
Right.
like he holds back. So they're all and compared to the rest of the city too, they're pretty good.
Yeah,
Uh,
so they hang out in a city full of smugglers and pirates and
yeah.
murderers. It's kind of awesome.
So anyway, at the end of the episode, like they get taken away by the police. Like nothing serious. They just have to go to the office to do some paperwork. Because basically, the corruption
So
here.
they straight out say in the middle of public, "I thought we bribed you to keep us out of this."
The police are very honest with their corruption. Like they accept, like, yep, yeah, we're corrupt. Like we're, but you can't just shoot each other in the streets. Do it somewhere where we won't see us, so I can keep golfing. That's basically what they say. And they're taking away to the office just for paperwork. And that's when what's being dubbed like the cigarette kiss. Do you remember?
Yes.
That's something I was reading the thing, and because like Rock is smoking, and everyone smokes by the way in this the show pretty much. And Revy wants a light, and he uses the cigarette to do a light, and then it's like kind of like a cigarette kiss. So
Yep.
maybe I'll put that picture up on the forum when he posts this. But that was interesting because I find the Rock Revy like relationship like one of the really interesting things in the show. So that's episode.
Yeah.
So Roberta's Blood Trail, which is the OVA, I won't go into because you haven't seen it. You will see it, but I'm just saying I wasn't particularly impressed by it. It wasn't bad. I just felt like I didn't like it quite as much. It was still good, and I wanted to watch it because of the series, and there was no dub out yet for it. But not that it had any effect. The sub was fine. Like the language is good, but I just didn't quite feel the same thing that I did in the second season. And it could be because in OVA there's only so much you can cover. I felt like it didn't. Although just some of the plot lines like. Yeah, we'll wait till you see it, and then we'll see what you think.
Okay. Well, the thing is, I was never she was my least favorite character. Like I know there's a lot of people who absolutely love Roberta.
Yeah.
And I'm just like I don't. I don't like her at all, really.
Just watching it, like I won't, and I don't even remember the plot lines that much, but it's kind of like if only you guys could just talk to each other and explain, have some communication, then you can avoid most of these problems. Like, why don't you put your guns down for a second and figure it out? It was that kind of situation, I think.
I think like my what's it called? Suspending of disbelief can cover nuns with guns, but it can't cover maids with umbrella guns. That's where I draw the line.
When one person is too powerful, also it kind of, I mean, like we'll accept that Revy and her they can kill a lot of people, but at some point, like you see that Revy has limitations. She gets injured during the series a few times. Like they're not like unstoppable. Like you take it, okay, she's really really good, but there's at some point. And she will back down, like with the Russian girl, right? Like Klava, whatever. Like Balalaika. She knows when to back down. Okay, let's see what else we got in this file here. Rock's graying morality. Rock is kind of like basically transitioning from like a businessman, like guy he a generally good average person towards like a Littlefinger type. Kinda, right? He's going towards.
He's being sucked into this world and has to adapt to it. And well, he has those moments like when he's fighting with Revy where he has those moments of badassdom that you can tell it's like that's who he really is and always wanted to be.
Yeah, and he just had to put in the right environment for it to come out.
Yeah,
sort of thing. And it was when I was watching this like the anime and reading the manga, I was like, yeah, the mangaka is the term, right? Mangaka, like the guy who writes the manga, or
the writer, yeah.
The writer, like he must really hate the Japanese like ladder, like corporate system, because he just keeps ripping like the business system and all of that. But it's funny because actually the first time that Rock surprises Revy is when they go for drinks. I think in the first episode or the second, and Revy drinks like all this whiskey or whatever, and then Rock is actually able to keep up with him because like as a Japanese businessman, I had to drink all the time at like work and then in college and whatever, and they have like a drink off before the bar explodes in a giant fight. The fight scenes are good in the show. If you like fights, then it's good. You like bullets, and people like they not only they show blood, but like they show what would happen. Do you have a bar fight? People get shot, people die, even innocent people like that in the show.
Except for the main characters, which you can fire a billion bullets at them and they're still standing.
Well, we suspend our belief or whatever. But the main characters get injured too.
Sometimes.
Yeah. So Revy's backstory, the repeating pillow and shooting scene. Like, what do you think happened to her?
The witch?
Revi, like what happened to Revi in the past? 'Cause definitely something happened to screw her over. Because she always sees
Well,
like a picture of a pillow and her shooting someone, and I mean the manga actually kind of explains, so I can explain it. But I'm just curious what you got out of it.
well, I was always holding on to that when the police people knew her.
Yeah.
Like that she apparently was like a former agent with them, or that's what I got out of it. That was hinted to, that she used to work for the U.S. government.
No, that was I think the kind of it was the other girl that was like the nun girl. She I think is more hinted like the girl who's
Yeah.
the one who hates Revi, who's like well they hate
Oh,
actually.
hating and her best friends
Yeah,
at the same
yeah, they're
time.
best friends. They hang up. They both want to bang Rock. Like, well, no, she wants to bang Rock, then Revi gets jealous. That's part of the like the dub lines that they use. Like Revi and her like banter is just amazing. Like
Yeah.
it's just so funny. But the thing with okay in the anime they doesn't explain it. Like you don't, like you see like scenes of her just like a pillow and like a guy getting shot and like through a pillow. But like basically what I've got from the manga like is that as a child or as a teenager she was raped and beaten by the police. Like
Okay.
and police like not like crying gang people, and then she like I think she got her first kill was like killing the guy like later on like revenge, but that scenario getting beaten and raped by the police like it destroyed her faith, and like if any faith she had in the law was destroyed. And then
Well, I've always noticed that in the opening credits, there's that one scene of the feathers flying.
yeah,
So I'm guessing that's the pillow.
that's the scene. Yeah, like she either used the pillow as like a silencer, I think,
Yeah.
or something, or just shot a guy and then it hit the pillow too when it went flying. But that's like one, and there's probably other bad things happened to her as well. But that's like
Yeah.
that was a big event that like you can see something like that because she's not a normal character
Something broke her early on in life.
there, and that's the thing that makes it interesting. Like because she's probably like we don't know like what her sex life is or whatever if she has one, but if she has one, it's probably completely emotionally dead, right? It's just like a wham bam gone like sort of thing. Like so, but you can see that there's something there with Rock, but she just doesn't have like the capability to deal with it.
Yeah.
Because just she's broken inside, and then Rock is just kind of messed up too. It's like there's
He's just
something
trying to survive.
Yeah, I'm a Revi / Rock supporter.
No, they're a good couple. I support it.
Yeah. Well, I was reading it in the thread, and people were like on one of the threads online, and like in the forum, whatever, for this, and people saying, but the thing is, once they get together, the guy was like, they're saying that's probably when the show's going to end, kind of thing, like because
Yeah.
lose some of the tension there. Like, how much can we watch them being a couple? It's probably going to be an end thing. So, but then again, the show does need to end. So they should. It needs a proper ending,
Well,
right? So.
It needs more episodes first. It's only got.
It is more episodes, yeah. But then there's a theory that they've hooked up. I think again I've been reading like My Manga or something. This online forum that people are doing it because there's I don't know if I think in the second season even in the show they have a scene where well they get used to each like they're like she's basically walking around naked a lot, right? And with Rock there, they're basically half naked and there's nothing said. Now that could just mean like that's okay, but like the theory was that they've slept together, but like just no emotional connection. They just slept together, so they used to the body, but they haven't developed a relationship yet. That's what right. And in fact, at some point, and I don't think it's the OVA. I think it's in the show where like Rock is trying to like get her to do something. Like he wants to do something. And she's like, "What's in it for me?" And then he puts some bullshit answer. But this thing, she actually wanted to like be like, okay, like in exchange for developing our relationship, I'll help you out with this, whatever. Like, so there's some theory there going on. It's pretty interesting. Even this show has a theory and interpretation, but they're not formally a couple, anyways. Like, okay. What else are we gonna talk about here? Let's see.
My favorite character is Bella Laika.
Okay, let's talk about. She's leader of like the Russian.
She is the leader of Hotel Moscow, which is the Russian mafia. She was the former lieutenant or general in for the Russian army in Afghanistan, and they kind of got screwed over after returning back home. So she's like, okay, I'm going to take my troops and form a mafia and kick everyone's ass.
Yeah, and she has go ahead.
She's the your typical meticulous leader, cold female. Stands there and can watch someone get killed before her and not even blink an eye. She's total badass.
She's basically the most powerful character in the city, I think, right? Like, in fact, a lot of the show shows that how they're getting Hotel Moscow is getting more and more powerful and edging out other groups, and killing people and even expanding into Japan. So she's, I would say, the single most powerful person in the city is probably her. Like,
And the Black Lagoon company, they're not partners with them, but they work with them like
Yeah.
to do jobs for them often. They have a good working relationship.
Well, they specifically bring that up because at certain points they say, yeah, we work with them, but we're not partners, so we can go against them sometimes if you have a good enough offer, and they do at times.
At times,
Yeah.
I'm just like the one episode where it's like, yeah, if Reverie gets in your way, just kill her. That's Bella Lyca.
But even when they're like competing against each other, they still have like a respectful relationship over the phone. They're like, yeah, we'll do what we got to do, and
yeah, well, I'm gonna be trying to kill you. All right, I'll try to kill you too. All right, well, if it works out, we'll have a job for you next week.
Yeah. But even Balalaika has like an interesting backstory. Like you get clips of her. She actually wanted to go into like gymnastics or Olympics or something. She wanted to be in the Olympics when she was a kid, and she ended up going to military. And I think that it might even have been like because there was an Olympics where like Russia got kicked out, the Soviet Union got kicked out or something, right? There's like two Olympics. There's one Olympics where they boycotted and then the U.S. boycotted. And I think in the show it shows that happened, and then she goes to the military. Then even when she gets injured, I think there's a scene where like it shows that she like refuses to shoot. Like there's like a kid, there's a woman carrying like a kid, and she doesn't shoot it. And then like something else happens and her face gets like burned when she saves people. So interesting character, still some gray in there, at least at that time. Now it's gone to the edge, but
yeah. I guess we should note at this point that this original story was written, quite a few years ago. So obviously the events like the Soviet Union when it was written, it was a lot more relevant than it is now.
Well, I don't think that the manga was. I mean,
not in the 80s.
It was just set in that time. Like the manga, it could even be written now, but whatever this time is, like the time of the world of this story is probably like in the 90s, like early 90s. The Soviet Union is gone, so it's probably like 1994 or something like that. Like it's that time for people to have the right ages, and even then, Dutch is a little bit younger than he should be. But that's when it is. Like although they do kind of have like internet and stuff like that. I think I think they use the.
I'd say late 90s.
Late 90s, okay, yeah.
But I mean, like it obviously it's not present day.
Yeah. And then there's the other thing about Leica. Her side job is she edits porn. Remember that scene?
Yes, that was one of the episodes I was watching to catch up on.
Yeah, she's in like the quality assurance position to make sure, and she's like editing it, and then Reverie like watches it. I'm not gonna go into the transcript there, but it's one of the best.
We'll add a sound bite.
Yeah, maybe I'll put a sound bite here of their interaction. I guess one of the big arcs is when they go to Japan, which I don't really remember that much, but I do remember that when they go to Japan, Reverie and Rock do get closer. They have closer interactions in Japan, but also there's a girl there that Rock meets.
Yes.
Girl and a guy actually. What's their names? I think the names are. So Ginji is the guy, I know that, and there's like a girl. Ginji is like the girl. There's a girl who's like 16 or something.
Yeah, she's the daughter of a yakuza, I think.
Yeah. And then she has like this personal bodyguard who's like picture like maybe Ario Hota, but in
yeah, exact. That's actually perfect.
Yeah, because it fits, right? He's being assigned by the family, and he has like he's married to his sword or whatever, and that's
complete devotion towards this girl.
Yeah. And the interactions between that bodyguard guy Genji and Reverie are hilarious. Like, and that's where like in the English dub they seem to understand each other and they're talking. And but in Japanese they can't. Like she speaks broken English when she's in Japan and he doesn't understand, but they still get an understand. Like you can see like they get an eye to eye understanding. They recognize that they're both killers and whatever. So it works both ways. But it's interesting seeing it in both. Like it's worth watching the scene just because Revie's English is freaking funny. Like when they.
Well, Reverie is English, like she's American.
Yeah, but I mean, like
I guess it's her Japanese.
Her Japanese voice actress. Yeah, because it makes sense. Like actually, the English dub makes more sense because her English is normal. She's Chinese American. But I mean, like the Japanese voice actress English for Reverie in Japanese is hilarious.
Oh.
Yeah. Like she's like when they're buying from the shopkeeper and like she gets cheated with it. She's like swearing at him in like this broken English, like the Japanese form of it. Yeah.
So she sounds like this English girl.
Kind of, yeah. Like she has a stereotypical Japanese English. Like that happens in a lot of other anime, which is kind of funny. Like you think like because they have anime where like they have an English what's supposed to be an English character, so it is speaking English, but it's like a horrible Japanese accent. Couldn't you have just got like an English person in Japan to do that one? Like it's just like this horrible accent. So okay. So anyways, they're in Japan and The other nice thing about this series is there's so many side characters and things like that. But beyond that, there's often they bring characters that are freaking annoying, and thankfully they get what's coming to them. Like in Japan, there's that guy who like beats up Rock. Do you remember that guy?
Oh yeah.
Like a super douchebag, and then Revi beats the shit out of him. There's a lot of guys do a lot of posturing to Revi, and then she just blows him away.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's just like super badass.
Well, we won't go into what happens in the end in the Japan timeline, but it was a good arc. And I think
Yes.
that's the final. Was that the final arc of the second season, or was it? Let's see what
Wasn't Roberta came back for the final arc?
Let's see what the final arc is here. Nope, the Japanese one. The Roberta thing goes OVA. So,
Okay.
It's just like the Japanese stuff is the end, and yeah. And they come back. Yeah, actually, did you watch the very, very, very last scene of the second season? Like
I have at some point.
because I think there's credits and then it comes back or something.
Oh,
and then
I'm not sure if I did
then. It's Revi and her friend, like the nun girl, are chatting and they're drinking, and then like the nun girl's like, so did you like bang Rock while you were in Japan? Like did anything or something? Did anything happen? And then Revi's like, I don't want to talk about it. And like they just shoot the gun or whatever. Like of course it's like bang bang at the end. But that was interesting for like that's what I find interesting about the show is with all this violence and all of that, there's still shipping going on.
Yeah.
In the show. So okay. Anything else, or are we going to go into after show?
I don't really know what else we can talk about.
I think that's about it. I think people
Other than just saying how awesome the show is.
If you've watched it, then you've enjoyed hearing about it, and if you haven't, then you're going to go watch it now. So
And if you like Black Lagoon, suggestions for other shows, the only other one I can really think of is Hellsing.
I still need to watch that.
You haven't watched it? Okay, I won't
I still haven't
say.
watched that. But didn't you say like you need Hellsing? You need to watch the newer ones first. It's done.
Yes. Hellsing Ultimate is what you
Okay.
want to watch. The series, it's all right, but it splits off fairly early on from the manga, and it just whatever. The Ultimate follows the manga, and it's awesome.
Cool. All right. So yeah, I'm trying to think. So for Black Lagoon, then would you recommend? I'm trying to think. Would I recommend reading it first or watching it? I'd probably say just watch it.
I haven't read it, so
Yeah.
I know.
Just say watch it first. Then you can always go back and read it if you want. Yeah. Okay, so what we'll do, we're going to go to the after show where we'll do the usual snakes and scorpions. But before we go to that, I'd just say what else is coming up in the future. Well, in the future, we'll do a general anime show where we'll talk about something like dubs versus subs. We did a bit today, race and like ethnic groups in anime. I want to talk about that. Fan service in anime, what purpose does it serve? And when is it done well? When is it done poorly? Why does everyone love panty shots in Japan and lolis? And so we'll talk about that general show.
I don't know that we'll come to a conclusion.
No, but like it's the journey, not the end result. And also for in terms of show, I want to do, like I said, Bigata HK. We've been talking about it since the start of this podcast, but I want to do Bigata HK / maybe any other rom-coms that we're like to doing.
Have you come across any other anime that have really like struck you?
I have to look up. I have a list written down. Let me open up my file. I have like a Google Doc. Nothing better than Black Lagoon though. That's the top of my list right now.
Actually, you might like Baccano.
Baccano, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to look up the list and get it later.
It's one of those that's not for everyone. You have to have some patience because it takes a while to understand what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
But once you do, you're just like, oh my god, this is amazing, and it is very bloody. It's got a lot of guns involved.
How do you spell that? I'm trying to.
Baccano exclamation mark.
Yeah. Cool. I'll have to check that out. So we'll that's what we have upcoming. So check us on our forum and post comments. If you're out there, whoever's out there, post comments and email us because for this show in particular, I like to get feedback.
We don't know if we're just talking to a dark wall.
Yeah. People listen. You'll be surprised, like because I do the same thing. I'll listen to a podcast or something, and it might be years later, and I'll listen to it and I'll be like, "Wow, that was a really good podcast." So, in a couple, like 3 years later from now, somebody might listen to this episode and be like, "Wow, I'm gonna go to be okay." And then by that point, we'll have like a whole bunch of episodes and everything. Okay, so that's it. We're gonna go in after show after the sound clip. So we're going to do the Snakes and Scorpions game. So refresher, the options are, what were the options? There's Mary, Mistress / Salt Boy, One Nighter, and like Snakes or Scorpions or whatever you say. So we're gonna go through like basically through the main characters, but starting with
This
Revi
one's
here.
hard.
It is hard because like your first reaction might be like one nighter or something, but this is Revi you're talking about.
Yeah.
Any interaction with
You-
Revi is dangerous. Like,
Well, that's the whole thing. Like all these characters, it's like it's
yeah,
like you want to do the one nighter at least, but
I
then
don't
you're
think there's
just like
any marrying.
everyone here can kill you.
Like, yeah, like I mean, Revi's. We said she's broken inside, right? That's not going to be like a relationship material. That's going to be extremely dangerous interaction material. So then again, if Revi's coming after you and you turn her down, that's dangerous too, right?
Person.
So if Revi is pursuing you, then you have to do a one-nighter or
Yeah.
you're dead. But if you have the ability to avoid her, well, I guess you sneak a scorpion or something, and you. So even though I love the character, it's not one I would actually want to interact with. I just want to watch it from a distance. So snakes and scorpions, I'd have to say, not even a one-nighter.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the one nighter. I'm a little brave.
Okay. Yeah. So what do you think about Rock? Because in terms of like as a character, he's interesting. But what do you think about in this game?
Oh, it's like, well, the thing is with him, I feel like we've met him in the middle of his development. I don't know where he's gonna end up.
Yeah.
Right. Like, so.
He might go like completely dark. He might go somewhere like in the middle. He'll be involved,
Yeah.
but still have like great character. It's gonna be. Well, what do you predict he's going to be? What kind of guy do you think he's going to? He's going to go become like a hound top guy that'll fit you, or is he going to? Is he going to get his face
I don't
burned?
really know. I mean, I'm actually having a serious thought about this.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess if he's like the only option on the table, I'll do the marriage thing.
Compare him to who? Just imagine you're stuck in Ruanapur, and
Yeah.
like, what do you have? Like most of the guys there are like scorpions right away. So it's like,
But do I have the choice of the women to marry?
you do. But this is, I guess, independent.
I might just marry them for protection.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do we say, Rock?
I'm just gonna put Mary. I don't think he's gonna go like off the deep end.
Oh,
So.
okay, cool. Then we have the Russian leader, Balalaika. Keeping in mind her part-time job. Again, she's I know. I think, and they kind of touch about it in the show. Balalaika is not broken inside. It's like,
Yeah, no. I'm gonna straight out say marry with her just because I think that would be the safest place to be.
well, yeah, yes and no. I mean, yeah, you would be a target then if you married her, though. People might go for you. But then again, she's the most powerful person in the city. So yeah, and again, if she's going for you, you can't afford to piss her off.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say at least a one-nighter for sure. She's not the type who would be a mistress. Maybe like a that kind of friends with benefit situation.
Yeah.
Might-
No, I
in
don't
fact,
think
that
she's
would fit
gonna
her.
play second fiddle to anyone.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you wouldn't be able to see anybody else when you were with her. That if you're dead, you're dead, and they would know about it because they have they have spies everywhere. Little birds would report back, and you'd be done for. So not a scorpions though, one-nighter at least, and committed one-nighter. All right, so what do you think about Dutch? And it's why we don't have Stephanie here to give some more info. But Dutch, what do you think?
He's married, full out. Yeah.
Why?
He seems like a solid dude.
Yeah, because he doesn't take pleasure in what he does. He just does it. Like this is his job.
And you can tell, like he's what you see. There's not going to be like some hidden secret person.
It's true. Yeah, you see what you see. Like he's puts his cards on the table. I want to see if I can bring a character list for this show. Let's see. Black Lagoon. I need to get some more women on here.
There's not enough in the series.
There's not enough main characters. Like there's side characters, but there's not
All right. How about Roberta?
scorpions.
Scorpions, yeah.
She's messed up. Like Roberta was like the revolutionary person or whatever, right? Like I think is she revolutionary? I don't know. She's got some sort of crazy background.
I'm just gonna go with crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Chang.
Where's Mr. Chang? Okay, he's the
marry
guy
him.
who's badass. Yeah, Mr. Chang is like the second
the
powerful guy in
Male
the
version of Revi in a few years.
He is, yeah. And Revi he is better than Revi right now. Like in terms of, and Revi admits it. Like in terms of gunfighting, he's slightly better. But even Mr. Chang knows that he has to pay respect to Balalaika because he's Balalaika's bitch, kind of.
But he's also like a leader. Like he's.
He is, yeah, he's a good leader. He's trustworthy. He's a good fighter. Yeah. Let's see if we get some other characters here. What about the nun girl? What's her name? We gotta find her what her name is.
One night stand.
For sure, at least a one night stand. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Again,
was gonna
like
say
everyone.
scorpions, and like, no, I'm not passing that up.
No, Ida, yeah, one nighter for sure. She's not really a nun, so there's no problem there. Okay.
What about Chinglish?
Ooh,
I don't know her name.
mistress. What is she under? I'm trying to see what she's under.
Yeah,
Bounty hunters.
I honestly don't remember her name.
Trying to find her. Oh my god. Okay, I have one I'm going to say after her, but first, don't say the next one. I'm going to say the next one. But
Okay.
first, let's finish off this girl. Okay, what is her? What is her character? She's like the Hong Kong girl with like the knives. That's mistress or one nighter, I think, because she's still feminine.
Yeah.
She kills people with knives, but she's still like she's beautiful and she.
Well, I'd be a little scared to have a one nighter with her. I think it would be painful. I think knives would be involved.
Okay, no, like I have a metal detector outside the room and make sure that no knives come into the room. So, but not scorpions. But not Mary either.
No,
Although,
not Mary.
you know what?
I'm having a problem with the
Yeah.
hotness versus the knives.
Yeah, the thing with
I don't know
with her
which
is, like,
plays
she
out
kind of
more.
like fits like so she kind of fits the stereotype, and even like Reverie saying Chinglish, she fits the stereotype of like the Asian girl who's like really dressed and can do all these things, except that she kills people with knives. She fits that like she fits like that stereotype of the wife, except she kills people with knives and she hangs out with a stone dude all they go. But yeah, she's not scorpions. Okay, now listen to the next one. Okay, the next one. Yeah, I knew what it was. What's the name though? It's called Sawyer the Cleaner. Is the girl with the chainsaw?
Oh.
You remember that girl?
Yeah.
Who had her throat like basically she had her throat slit, but she survived, but she can't like talk normally.
She's the vocoder thingy.
Yeah, her vocal cords are cut and she survived, and that experience has made her into basically first she became like the person who cleans up all the bodies. Like whenever somebody died, they'd give it to her to like chop up, and now she's a bounty hunter. So what do you say? Scorpions.
I'm gonna play it safe and go scorpions, just because I think she's got a few too many messed up problems. Like she's more messed up than Revy.
She's more messed up than Revy. Like, cause she's like, I mean,
she had like a breakdown in the middle of a fight.
She does, yeah. She has like a breakdown and is freaking creepy. Like these some of these characters are just so damaged. They're just broken. And but in their interaction it's really interesting. But in terms of this game, you just get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
All right. I don't even remember these people. Like Lutton the Wizard. There's like a wizard.
What?
Though there's a guy who helps. Like at one point, like the Hong Kong girl gets injured and she gets helped by this guy, and I think they like end up in a relationship.
I remember the Stone Driver.
Stone Driver. Yeah.
Scorpions.
Yeah. I think he's dead already by the end.
I think he was Australian or something.
Yeah, like they find out like that the Hong Kong girl says like, oh, like he never came back from Mars. He had a big dose and he died.
That already fried his brain.
We need a site that has pictures. I just don't know who these characters are.
Yeah, I'm looking at a wiki, and it's probably the same one you're looking at.
Yeah.
It's the names.
What about the Genji guy, like the bodyguard guy?
The Japanese one?
Yeah.
I guess Mary.
You're jumping
alright.
to the Mary. Why Mary?
He seemed like a solid dude.
He would be loyal to you till the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'd be like the Hound, actually,
It would be.
except less abrasive.
Yeah. That was a cool character. That was one of my favorite characters there. We didn't even get into that whole arc when they had those kids that were messed up.
Oh.
That was disgusting.
Those were
and
just
sad
crazy.
At the same time, it was so
Yeah.
sad. Like we won't go into that. I guess that's one arc where we won't go into details because the storyline does matter. But it was yeah.
That shows kind of the darkest the series
That
goes,
is
I
the
guess.
darkest the series gets to. Yeah. Okay. Well, this is disappointing. We got to have more options here.
Well,
Let's see. I'm gonna search Black Lagoon characters. I'm just searching the images. Maybe that'll bring up people. I see a lot of pictures of Revy cosplay. That's what you need to do is a Revy cosplay sometime. That's what
I
you
want to get my friends to do like all the girls of Black Lagoon,
do.
because I want to do Bella Laika.
That would be awesome. Yeah. But in here, Revy and Roberta have like that rivalry going. They're always like fight.
Don't like Roberta.
Yeah, I don't like her. But there's like this Indian girl who's like a hacker that they get.
Yeah, Scorpions. She was annoying.
That's her, yeah. Her voice, I guess, yeah. I think that voice actress is actually pretty common. Well, compared to the rest, I'd say One Nighter. Because compare her to the rest. She's from outside of the city and she's not messed up. She's just a hacker.
But I really like that arc, though, just because it showed, like people who were kind of friends at one time are just as willing to start killing each other for a price on the head a minute later.
I'm just looking at these Reverie cosplays.
Don't get too
Getting distracted here. I'm like, well done there. Is there Balalaika cosplays? There's Balalaikas coming up here.
I haven't seen very many. The thing is, I have a very Eastern European face, so I could actually kind of pull it off a bit.
Yeah, you could. Like that would work. There you go. That's the next big cosplay goal, to get your friends.
Well, the thing is, I need to get everyone else to do it too. Otherwise, I'll just look like this chick in a suit.
Well, you'll have like the scar, like the burn scar thing. You'll have to come up with a way.
Yeah.
That, which you can do, right? You just put some sort of paper mache.
I'll figure it out. I have some liquid latex. I think we went over all the main characters.
I think that's about it. Here's one where it has both the characters, like the Asian girl and Revi here. Although it's not really well done, really, but it's better than nothing.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Yeah.
The Asian girl's the hair's a little off, but Revi's good.
I think we pretty much covered everybody. I think we'll have to call it a day. I can't think of anybody else that there's like a Chinese hacker girl who comes at some point, but I don't remember. Well, actually, I guess the last person is the Japanese girl who's like in the family. Like,
yeah,
she was kind of annoying, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna do Scorpion. She wasn't very interesting.
Yeah. So, but just her personality was so it wasn't bad, but just got a little bit annoying the way the arc went. It was still a great arc.
Yeah, no, I like that.
Bodyguard was definitely the more interesting character, I think, of the two. Okay, so we did the game. That's about it. Is there anything else we want to talk about? I think that's it. Good.
No,
solid
you
episode.
Want to touch upon any other anime, just in general?
No, just we'll take suggestions if people do respond to this suggestions, and we'll discuss it. This was interesting. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna stop the record anyways. So.
All right.
See you next time.
All right. Bye, people. Well, I guess I should say I'm looking to do a Doctor Who episode. I think there is a lot of support for that.
Oh, you mean BOK General? Yeah, Doctor Who for sure. And you said maybe a Sandman or something, but I mean, in terms of...
That probably won't be for a while.
Yeah.
But I know there's a lot of people who are really interested in the Doctor Who one.
And if you listen, like, since we're not on iTunes yet, and we will be, and even when we are on iTunes, this podcast is really based off word of mouth kind of thing. If you listen to an episode and you like it, click share or something, share it somewhere, or like tell people, because it's I don't know, we podcast because of the community. Like, it's not like I'm trying to like monetize BOK. I'm like, I want to get clicks and make money. No. I don't give a shit about that.
We can't even get money off of podcasts.
It's not money, but I want. Like, well, why are we podcasting? We like to talk about things. I like talking to you about it, but I would like to get feedback. I would like to talk to other people who are interested in other Black Lagoon fans. Let's have
people in our lives have no idea what we're talking about.
That's
when
the
we
thing,
mention
right?
any of this.
Like, I'm like, exactly. There's most of the people I know right now. I can't talk about these things because they won't understand it, or they'll be like, what's this?
And, with the Ask Us YouTube questions thing, the one I'm looking forward to answering the most is explain all my posters, because I'm going to go to each of these anime series and be like, this is what this is about, and you should watch it.
This is an exciting time to be a fan of the podcast, because we've got all these projects going: drawing podcast, YouTube, the Christmas singing, everything.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, yeah, recording call. Excellent. You were recording?
Yep.
Okay.
Fine.
All right, let me take a drink and then I'll read their intro.
I have the theme song is on my computer. I have a copy if you want to use it for the intro music.
Yeah. I usually put it at the end.
Okay.
Just so I have a consistent intro. And a lot of podcasts do use, like, that's what they do. But I like the way I do it. Like, I have the consistent short intro, and then at the end I have the music.
I think I might have never actually listened to our finished product of one of these ones.
I think you listened to the Sailor Moon one, though, didn't you? Like you said, you were, or was that...
Well, I recorded with it.
Yeah. You gotta listen to the finished product is actually pretty good. Like, when we record these, I'm like, I didn't feel that good. But then I
listened to the finished podcast episodes. I just don't think I've listened to these ones.
Yeah. You need to go back and listen to either the Sailor... I do sometimes, the Sailor Moon one or the Hercules Xena one. Like, if I'm on the bus, it comes up on my... Because I have the podcast on my phone.
Okay.
And then it comes up. But we've recorded some good episodes here. We just need a bigger market.
Do we get any? Like, do we know if anyone's actually listening
Yeah,
to them?
we
We don't
do.
get a lot of feedback.
With the feedback, I get emails. Like people don't post
Okay.
comments, and they post up in the forum. I get emails, not that many, but we do get feedback. And the other, like, I need to get us on iTunes. If we can get on iTunes, then I think we'll get like, because we do all like these different shows, so we can get each one can grab people from that, like people who like Xena will
Okay.
like listen to us because there's no active Xena podcast, right? People have podcasted on it, but like if you're a fan, you'd like to listen to like, especially like these shows are like, it seems that we're going more into like a nostalgia podcast.
Yeah.
Like this will be the first thing we're doing that it's like still like recent
going?
or it
Yeah.
is ongoing. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna do the read here. Okay, what episode is this? This is episode 10. Okay. You are listening to The Bastards of Kingsgrave, episode 10. I should say episode 10 first. Okay, let me do that again. Okay.